All right, the automatic part worked today. Yesterday, it didn't automatically switch when the timer ended for some reason. I'm going to just do this. All right, I'm curious how the sync is working there. Because it seemed like the audio might be slightly ahead, but hopefully it's not. Oh, yeah, I closed that so I can't see. Hopefully it's not too bad. Looks fine? Excellent. Okay, so for those of you who were not here yesterday, I'm just going to tell you right now, I am dual streaming to both Twitch and YouTube currently. I also bumped up the bandwidth to 2.5 megabits for this weekend because I didn't stream last weekend, so we got some bits to spare here. So we're going to have a slightly higher bit rate stream this week. So we'll see how that works out. I also bumped it up from 2.5 at home to 4 megabits per second to each stream because I figured the re-stream or re-encoding was probably not helping. So yeah. So Commodore 256, I'm using a completely custom solution. So, yes. So, all right. I think that'll cover that for now. Everything should be pretty good and set up. So, today, we're going to be continuing with the manual for this thing. Today's stream was almost completely ruined because I left the SSD with all of the scans at home. And then I realized I could just download the files from my server, but then I realized it's 10 gigs, I can't. So, like, I could remote desktop to my server, but, like, then it'll look terrible, and I'll have to waste a bunch of bandwidth on that. So I was like, what if I convert them all to 300 DPI JPEGs, and I can download that? And it was taking forever. And I was like, why am I wasting all my time on these stupid solutions? It's only going to take me a half an hour to rescan it. So I rescanned the whole manual this morning again. So we have the files still, but they're new files. The other benefit to that is that they're now all the same size dimensionally. So, but yeah. Yeah, half the size is still 5 gigs though, Moonwire. That's the problem. That's 10% of my data cap. Yeah. So you can stream to home using VC1. I'm gonna guess you mean AV1 for more efficient compression. So I don't have, I can't. Basically, OBS can't encode that. Long story short. So yeah. Yin, I think, according to the terms of service, I cannot tell you to go somewhere else. But I'll just say, it would be a live channel, wouldn't it? So yes. Why it's not? You sure? It's not the main channel, if that's what you're looking for. I see there's 3 viewers over there right now. So pixel values with color histograms. Ooh, interesting. Took 45 CPU minutes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I have new files, unfortunately. Yes. So, also, I found out today that YouTube changes the URL for the chat every single stream. Good job, YouTube. That's just delightful. So that's going to be fun. And I see you over there, Ethan. Hello. So, all right. I think with that, we're just going to continue on. So here's what I'm thinking. All right. Should we whiteboard? I feel like maybe we should whiteboard. We have new tools for whiteboarding, and I'm pretty sure I saw Ben's here, so let's partake in that, shall we? You know, I actually had an idea that would be kind of cool. This is like a lot of markers, and I was thinking it'd be cool to 3D print something to hold the markers up, because the little tiny rail there it's not going to cut it. With this many marker options, let's see. YouTube VOD so much better. Yes. Oh, Yin, I know. That's the VODs are the whole reason. Also, actually, I have a thing I need to talk about here. With that, Dave Shelby with echo, you know, it's stereo. Oh gosh. So I was thinking about the whole chat situation. That's why there's no chat, because I'm dual streaming and that's complicated. So here's the problem. All right. If I come up with a way of sending Twitch chat to Twitch, YouTube chat to YouTube, that doesn't get Twitch chat in the VOD, and I expect Twitch chat to be the more popular chat, so that's a problem. Twitch chat will always be lost from the YouTube VOD, which is the long-term solution. YouTube will have its own chat baked in on the side. You'll still always be able to have that. So the only option is potentially me coming up with a way of merging the chats myself if I count as a first party. So that's about the only way I can do chat, is if I am allowed to come up with my own chat merge solution. So, let's see, is whiteboard magnetic? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure not. We put Twitch chat into YouTube VOD, but not into the Twitch stream. That probably doesn't violate anything. Not magnetic. So having both chats on screen means Twitch and YouTube people can see. Yes, I could put both on screen, but that's going to get really messy. That's the problem. I may do that. I don't know. It's 2 lines of chat running text. Yeah, that might be a solution. I don't know. Sort of few streams of TikTok, you're not okay with it. Oh gosh. See, when archive VOD, YouTube download the chat with relative timestamps uploaded as. Oh, that is weird, Yin. I had not considered that. That won't work, because the whole reason I'm streaming to YouTube at all is to automate everything, because I suck. I won't do it. It just won't happen. I have too much going on. It'll never happen. So yeah, I have to figure out an automatic one. Merge chat with icons for each user, show which chat's from. I don't know that that's acceptable. That's the thing. I might just have to actually email Twitch support and ask them, clarify this. I think I'm gonna have to do that. So, do you stream YouTube for revenue? No. It's a completely new channel. It can't even make money. So I'm getting the markers open here. Seen people merging chats many times. See, that doesn't mean that it's right. You know, so let me make a point here. I can see viewers in chat, I think, somewhere. Where do you do that? Where do you see who is in chat? Users in chat. All right. I don't see Twitch staff right now, but I've had Twitch staff in chat before, okay? And that's the problem with having it be merged or weird or anything like that. So yeah. Let's see, merging chat specifically named in the rules. Yes. Saw low frame rates. That happened one time last stream. I don't know if it will be a continuing issue. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it's not a continuing issue. Where... Oh, you know what? I bet the X-Acto knife is over here because I was using it to remove labels from mail. So. Let's see. Ask them, maybe they tell you. Yes, that's exact. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to ask. I think I'm going to have to email Twitch support, get clarification on that or something. Might be the one time I flex my partnerishness to actually get an answer on that. I would say go for forgiveness, or, you know, it's better to ask for forgiveness instead of permission. Not in this case. They'll just ban you. They don't care. There is no forgiveness. So I'll ask for permission first. If it's just archiving, why does chat matter? Well, that's kind of the point I'm trying to make here, is that, like, do we need chat? Alright. We're gonna go with one black one and one red one, I think, for this. Okay. Let's see. Not when it comes to your come stream. Yeah, exactly. Not able to watch streams this week. Holidays, catch up with the VODs. Yeah, you will now have a much easier time doing that, Tillwolf. So that'll be good there. Let's see. So much streams are interacting with chat, so not having it leads VODs missing a lot. It does. I know that. I appreciate that fact. That's why I've been trying to figure out the balance here. But the realization of having... I am... The only way it makes sense to do it is if I can have both chats on stream. So I have to figure out if I can do that. Schmide, I don't know if you mean in that you can go somewhere else or if you can just watch later, but both are technically true. I will say this, my preference and focus will always be on Twitch, because I want something that's not YouTube. So, you think having chat on the other screen was strange practice and you're just used to it? Oh, chat on screen. See, it's weird. It depends, I think. I don't know. I'm partial to not having it. But yeah, I don't know what to tell you. All right, let me get this camera pointed here. I wish there was a way. Is there a way I can do this? No, there's not. Yes, if I was, if I bought the $1,200 one, I could have done it, but I'm not paying $1,200 for an HDMI switch. Okay. I want to talk through how exactly we're going to do this here. Okay, that's really dark and red and whatever, but yeah, sure. Okay, also that's showing the wrong camera angle. Yes, I know the audio is going to be quieter in a second. It's not meant to be as loud as it is. There you go. Okay, so let's...
Says tier 100, have a nice ending on end of line.
Cybermonk 1331 there. Thank you for the 200 bits. See, watched first half yesterday's stream on iPad last night. Kind of weird to have to rely on chat replay. Either obscures the right side of the video or the video gets shrunk to fit the remaining space. Yeah, watch 50% of streams from archive. About every other stream, find yourself looking through chat history. All right. Do you want the script for the color history? Probably not, since it sounds like it's going to be extremely CPU intensive, and I don't think I'll even have time to run it today. Let me go over exactly what I'm going to do here, because we're going to start without any of your script today, Moonwire, and then we're probably going to try and incorporate some of it, because I have an idea here. Okay. Let's see. Also, as an office building, can you convince other companies to share fiber? Not really. No. No one here... I can tell you this. No one here else uses real quantities of internet. It's not going to happen. You had fun all morning? Well, I'm glad. See, get to glue NetPlace eye-opener back together? Oh. Ouch. That is unfortunate. See, just here to make sure your Amazon versions work. Oh, gosh. Okay. Where is my first? Okay, let's look at this. So we have here, let's say, a fancy fresh marker. Ooh, yeah, that's the stuff right there. So we have our 2-page document that is scanned here. This is not to scale or even the correct aspect ratio, okay? There is a seam in the middle of the pages, okay? So first, the problem is that this is scanned, it's rotated, but I've already re-rotated all the images, so it's like this, okay? It's scanned flat as 2 pages. They're not numerically in the correct order, so we're gonna have to reorder all of the pages after we're done here. That's a different kind of problem. But we need to be able to split here to get 2 individual pages. The issue, though, is that this, you know what? Let's grab another color, because I can, why not? The issue is that this page width here is dynamic, okay? So the problem is that this slowly shrinks in and causes a black section on the left to appear, all right? So it's not extending out like I just drew, but it's actually the pages shrinking in. So you could pretend that this red square is initially as big as the black area, then shrinks down to that. That's what we're dealing with. So the objective that we need to do today is to figure out how much it shrinks down and then move our split point. Because the other thing is that the split point is going to move half of this width. So it will start out here and then it will slowly shift over. So we have position 1 here and then we have position 2.
Miklo Seiko subbed as tier 1 and says hello guys. I hope the stream is going well. Currently stuck at Munich Airport waiting for my plane to be available for boarding at 9:40 p.m. Central European Time. Planned departure is 10:10 p.m. End of line.
Mikolas, thank you for the tier 1 sub and for 21 months there. I appreciate that. So, let's see. Catching up on chat here. Let's see.
Belgium says, did somebody say hype train choo-choo CHGER 100? End of line.
Ben, thank you for the 100 bits there. Midline's about 50 pixels wide. Yes. Well, yeah, it's not perfect. But this is the problem, okay? So here's what I'm thinking for now, all right? Our command line, so here's what we're gonna do, okay? I want to make a new script entirely that's gonna be written in Python that is just gonna become my master PDF creation script. I think that's just gonna be the way to go with this. So for a document like this, we're gonna have, let's say SPDF is maybe the name of the command, scan to PDF, okay, maybe S2 PDF, all right? We're gonna need a parameter that's, say, T for the type, and then we'll do staple as the type here, because this is unique in how it works, with the pages being together, and then this gets flipped as well. So this will determine the page ordering, all right? And then we need another parameter, which is going to be we'll make this shrink. And this will be the number of pixels that this black area is in the center of the book. That one is always good. Jarek Sweetener, thank you for the 100 bits there. Let's see. So for each image, identify active page area minus left, right border, cut in the middle. Kind of. Can you stretch the pages? No, I will crop them. So the shrink will be the number of pixels this is. So we came up with yesterday, it's approximately 250 pixels, I believe. So the idea will be, there will be multiple iterations of this. So on page 1, let's say, the shrink factor will be 0, but on page, I think there are 54 pages, so let's just, whatever. Page 54, the shrink factor will be 250. And then I'm going to relatively resize that in between that. So there's 50-ish pages, let's say, 250 pixels. So every page, we're going to bring this in by 5 pixels on the left, and then we'll take the total page width and cut that in half. Now, the other thing I'm considering is because the pages are printed and then the edges are cut off, the distance from the center to the outside of the page changes, but I bet the distance to the maximum part of the print. So let's say we have a line here that's a line of text, okay? I'm going to wager that the distance between the actual center line to the edge of the text never changes, but that the distance from the edge of the text to the page edge does change. So we should theoretically be able to crop the split pages on the maximum sides to the minimum page size and make a perfect PDF. The text will align correctly and it should just work because this would be excess paper at the beginning of the pages. It's just how they bound the book. So,
Belgium gave a tier 1 gift sub to Voldemort. End of line.
Ben, thank you for the 5 gifted subs there. I'll say this, I looked at the API logs. These show up as separate things, not as one. But thank you for the 5 gifted subs there, Ben. So I hope that kind of explains what our objectives are today. So, can you detect where text is located? Not easily, no. Text, no, because the other problem is there isn't always text on every single page. So here's the thing that Moonwire was working on. So let me go back to this. It is possible to automatically detect this by looking at where the mostly black pixels start and then end on the page. So we might be able to dynamically figure this out. But to start, we're going to provide that as a parameter to the command. But we may be able to automate this. So that's where what Moonwire was working on may come into play. That part we might be able to get rid of. I will always leave it there as a manually specifiable thing, though. So, also looking for the start and end printing of each column. Oh, you were doing it super fancy then. Yeah, I'm not going to bother with that because the pages are going to change what they print, how wide they print, and all that stuff. One of the pages does actually print off the edge of the page. I can show you that in the scan just because they didn't care. I'm pretty sure they just did a whatever on that one. So, PC Magus, I don't think so. You're basically saying make black totally black. That isn't how I usually do PDF presentations. That'll make sense as we go along. So, it was for each scanned image. Okay. Well, yeah. But all right. So, I know how I want to do this. I just have to implement it. So, it's not one of those things where I need to figure it out. I know what the basic logic is. So, we're just going to go write it down right now. Is GitHub up to date with the new Deck Talk integration stuff? Yes. Yes, if you go to the Stream Integrations project on GitHub, that is, I can even check here. Hold on. Stream Integration, F4, Git status. I have technically modified the Deck Talk one. Git diff. What did I change? It's just the change that didn't work for the Twitch user. So you know what? Well, I can't update it while it's live. Yes, it's up to date. It is up to date. I need the YouTube chat back here. Okay. All right. So your scripts for MPV, detect, auto crop reasons. Yeah, I'm pretty sure ImageMagick can automatically crop too. There's a reason that I want to do it programmatically though, and we'll get to that. So, let's see. Black regions are in the 20s. Yeah, so that'll be what it'll probably be is I'll look for an average of pixels that are below 50% gray or above 50% gray. That when I go to do the actual automation one. For this is why just specifying a value as a parameter right there will work out. So, all right, let's switch over to this and do some work here. All right, I'm gonna go quickly grab some water. Actually, I'm gonna do it in my coffee canister because that's empty and that'll let me rinse it. Cold water. Oh man, I forgot I bought an IBM Pro printer. I need to try that at some point. Oh wait, I did. The ribbon is not amazing. That's right, I used it for a printout. All right, water. That's good enough. Okay. Alrighty. Wow. That cover page is excellent. It is really good. Okay. So to start here, we have page scans. So this is every page in the document here represented. All right. And the black area is on the left as I was talking about. So this is the background of the actual scanner. Theoretically, if I wanted to crop every single page as I was scanning them, we could, you know, get rid of that, but that would suck. It would take way longer. So creating a script to automate this is easily the better option. So let's figure out how we want to do, well, I know how I want to do this. Let's make a thing. So S2 PDF, let's just call it this for now, .py, all right? You know what? Let's just make a GitHub repository. GitHub.com. That way I don't have to worry about trying to do it later. Why am I not logged in? That's so annoying. Fine. Hey, you guys want to check out something cool? Look at this lens cloth. And I have to type some things to do some things that look like that. Okay. And then I have to get my phone, and I have to push a thing, because everything must be 2FA until the end of time. And there we are. Okay. And there. Whoosh. Wasn't that a cool lens cloth? Okay. Let's make a new GitHub repo. Wait till I introduce 3FA, yeah. S2 PDF. Okay. Create PDFs automatically with image cropping and adjustments from a set of scan images. Okay. Add gitignore, yes, for Python. Choose a license, MIT, because whatever. Add a README, and there we go. Okay. With passwords like password 2FA might not be a bad idea. I only use password as the I mean, I don't use password as the password on this computer. That would be terrible. I only do that because it's very likely you all will see the password, and Linux requires you to have sudo on a, you know, password for sudo. So yeah. Yeah, let's go ahead and grab this. All right. Home, git clone that Okay. All right. Let's move that there. Okay. What is it? User bin env. Is that it? And then we do Python. Is that the fancy pants way of doing this? User bin env Python 3. Is that the nerd way? Let's see. New port review change password. Oh, that's awful. Echo, no, print with the things. This is a print, save, and then I totally am a Linux person checking the executable box. Okay, and then we do no. S2, boom. Okay, so yes, that is the correct nerd way to do that. Okay. Let's define our logic, okay? So, trying to remember how you do arguments. Hold on. We're gonna go to one of my projects here, the YT CLI one. Or is it CLI YouTube? I don't even remember. There it is. YouTube CLI. Because I do arguments in this somehow. Okay, it must be in the base one. Yeah, I know the argument thing. I don't want to look up someone else's tutorial. I'd rather look up my own existing methods as a tutorial, because my brain will handle that better. So, do a get args, you do the things, you know, we'll just, we'll do this. Meh. And then, meh. But that obviously won't exist. I'm gonna keep this all in one script too, so we're not gonna mess with this too much. And then I'll add arguments, get args. That's a bunch of stuff there you gotta do, man. Whoa. Okay, that goes there. All right, gotta disappear for a bit. Hopefully back to normal sometime later. Okay. It looks like I'm gonna be using arg parser. Or arg parse. That's the one. All right, and then we will go to Google API key. That's Google API base. Where's the key one? API key. Perfect. Okay. Parse args client. Okay, so that's how that works. You know what, we'll just, args thing. It's just the object name, don't worry about it for that. Okay. Args, parse args. Okay, so let's do, oh, we have one there already, so we can just leave that. That's fine. Okay. Override help to allow for dynamic help screen action. Store true. Print this. Help. Help. Parser. Print. Help. Okay, so that's fine. Okay. No, don't. You're thinking too far ahead, PC Magus. Don't worry about that.
The token subbed as tier 1 and says ARM22 and binary is 000101110. End of line.
I'm surprised you didn't do that as 10 digits there. So that would be 0 or 1 and then 0 and then 1 1. Is that? That is correct. The Taters game, thank you for the 22 months there. All right, so let's get rid of that because we're not messing with that. And then we'll have mode, choices, video. Yeah, so we'll have type here, mode, and then choices. Did I not put a shorthand one? Hold on, I'm gonna look up the docs for this. Okay, short, long. It's like the opposite of what I did over there. Long, short. Okay. Can I... Action. Huh. Well... Oh, you know what? I bet those are just all the acceptable ones. Okay, that's fine. So we'll do this as... But then... Mode... Huh. You know what? We'll just not worry about it. We'll do... Dash T, comma, dash dash type. There. Choices. For right now, we're going to do staple. That's... Sure. Staple. Okay. Default. Staple. The way the pages were bound and need to be sorted. Okay. Yeah, rusted staple. Yeah. Okay, if determine mode and get other args for it, we won't worry about that, and it will be type. If args help, yeah. Type. Okay. We'll put that in parse args. Why is that here already? Get args, parse args. How did that work? Huh. I don't know how I was able to do that in that order, but okay. Weird. We're not doing this. So the logic here in the YouTube thing, this was basically a Git style, what's the best way to describe this? I don't know how this works. Like if you do commit in Git, right? So if you do git commit, you have a bunch of different arguments that are basically for a completely different kind of program that is commit. You could have git dash commit as like the binary name, and it would make almost as much sense as git space commit. So this was mode video, because the idea was that I would have other options later, but I never implemented them, because YouTube really just makes API stuff a complete nightmare. So that never happened, but we don't need that for this. It's kind of pointless. We're just going to have the type variable, so we don't need whatever was going on there at all. Okay. Yeah, we'll get rid of that, put that here. There. Args dot mode. Wait, what? Args mode, determine mode. Oh, I parsed it there. Idiot. Okay. Also, let me make sure I didn't parse args here or something. Parse known args. I think I might need that, actually. Get args, parse args. I don't think I need that logic either. You know what? Hold on. We're going to do some refactoring here. So all the arguments will get added at the top. We don't need anything else. Get args, return, parser, parse args. Oh, this is for doing it in the middle. Okay, so actually get rid of, well, not that. Get rid of that. Okay. I'm catching up. Yes, Desiac, for some reason, yeah. I don't know about that one, though. I'm hesitant to allow that one. Oh, nah, it's fine. Either way. Okay. So we'll say type. If args mode, wait, mode. No, if args type equals staple, check. Print them, were they rusted? Okay. Does args mode not defined? Where is that? Args mode. Oh. No, we'll grab the parse known args just so that we can use that. Okay. So we're going to do this, but we're going to call this early exit for help parsing. There. Because now, boom, that's fine. I can do -H. We get sys not defined. Import sys. Perfect. Okay. And now we can do -T staple. That didn't work. -type. Huh, okay. Oh, well, that would do it. Hey, okay, and shorthand T, perfect, okay. So we have arguments working, okay. So let's add one, well, we can fill things in there, so we'll be fine. All right. So let's say okay. Shrink equals 0 for right now. All right. And let's define the logic. So let's say we have a reorder underscore staple. All right. Def reorder staple function. Okay. Because the way this is going to work, ultimately, the only thing that's unique about the staple document is the way that the pages are put in there. So all of the page ordering and the cutting and all that stuff is going to be unique here. So we're going to do this in this area. Unknowingly, we're going to have to do file management stuff in Python. I really don't like that. I just don't want to do math and bash. Blech. Sucks. So we're going to do if reorder staple, then we will run that one. Okay. Boom. I can get rid of that. Paste that there, just make sure that logic is working. Perfect. Okay. So, reordering based on having been stapled. Okay. Perfect. We'll just make shrink 100 for right now. Happy New Day around the sun? Oh, yeah, for you Europeans, it's probably closer, isn't it? Well, you're 7 hours ahead? You're not there yet. Well, I don't know. Trying to think. Time zone split is in the Pacific somewhere, I think. Better early than late. Well, we'll be here tomorrow as well, but let's see. Oh, this is gonna be weird. Yeah, but it's also still the 30th, Hellencroft. It's not the 31st. I was trying to think. it could theoretically be the 31st somewhere, but it would be the early morning. This reordering will suck. Yeah, oh yeah, I know. Near Japan, maybe, yeah. So essentially, the first page also has the last page. Yeah, that makes sense. With the Japan. But the second page has the next page and then the second to last page. Okay, you know what? I think, but they're also flipped. So this is why this is extra horrible. Okay, let's just skip in a bit. All right, let's go scan 10 here. All right, that's still not enough. Let's go scan 16. Okay, so we have page 3 over here and page 80 over here. But it's also stupid because if we go to the next page, it's now page 4 on the right side and page 79 on the left side. So not only is it like reversing the first and last page, but they flip every other time. So pages are wrote a function for that in zip file. Yeah, I could see that. I'm gonna go through this myself here, but yeah. Cut in half and do it manually. Well, that's the thing. Cut in half and then number them what? We're gonna. I appreciate that, Moonwire. Like you enjoyed solving the puzzle, I want to solve the puzzle too. Random names, that sounds awful. So I know what the logic's gonna be. I don't need the help for that. You know what? We're working on PDF stuff. Sanity or Madness. So, all right. So pages ordered. 2, 1. No, actually, let's say. Oh gosh. So it's technically N, and then 0, and then N minus 1, and then 1. This is how the ordering works, all right? And then it would be N minus, no, it's not, because it's 1, and then N minus 1, and then N minus 2, and then 2, and then 3, and then N minus 3, and so on. So that's the ordering right there. And N is technically N equals page, or we'll call this scan underscore count times 2. Mervin, that's still not that easy, because you missed the first part. All right, I'll just open this in GIMP, and then we'll just have this ready to go. Although I need it to be slightly farther in. So let's open this one in GIMP. That's perfect. Okay, we're gonna go with that one. And then the last one. Okay, so I'm gonna duplicate this actually, and then I will have this one be darken only, and then I can hide the other one. Okay, so we have the last image we scanned. So for everyone who wasn't here in the beginning, all right, which could be a significant number of you actually. Let me see how many people are here now. So there are, okay, not actually that many more of you here, but for those of you who may not have been here at the beginning, let me cover this. So this is the last page that was scanned, and this is a much earlier, it's not the first, but it's the first with like some actual print on it page that was scanned. The problem is that the book that was scanned was staple bound, and you
David
see the
Phantom says
pages.
sorry for not being at your last 5S streams. Also, sorry I won't be at this one as well. But to hopefully make up for it, CHER 5000 end of line.
Holy moly, David. Thank you for the 5,000 bits. Whoa. Thank you so much. Holy moly there. Very much appreciated. Thank you. Yeah, wow. Let me go over this again here. So the pages are curved because this was stapled and then folded over. So the net effect is that the pages on the outside of the book are longer than the pages at the center of the book. And we can see this here. This page was at the outside of the book, and this page is at the inside of the book. So there is a whole chunk of page. Literally, there is no paper. It doesn't exist, okay? What that also means is if we look at this here, the center of the page shifts over half as much as the page that's missing. So the center point moves. So you can't just split it in half and then renumber the pages. So yes, it's a much more complicated problem. So you cannot split the pages first. First you need to crop the left edge, then you can split them in half. So the very first thing we need to do is figure out how much to split the left side. So that's one thing, but this is just part of that so that can be kept in mind. Don't let perfection be the enemy of done or easier. So Radium, it's not about the perfection, it's about doing this in a way where I can repeat this later, because I'm sure this is not the only stapled document that I own, and I would rather spend one day making a perfect solution for this so that I never have to do it again manually. I could do this manually today, it wouldn't be that bad, but then I would have to do it manually the next time, and the time after that. So to everyone who, this is the common thing, it is entirely possible to do this without image manipulation and detection. All we need to know is how many black pixels there are right here on the last page scan. That's it. So we could just come in here in GIMP. I can select the section here that's black. Boom. I can look over here on the left. It is 260 pixels. Boom. That's it. That is the only number I need. And I'm going to provide that as shrink here, effectively. This is why it's important to hire an intelligent, lazy person to find a way to make it easier in the long run, yes. So this is just to keep in mind the page ordering, but the first thing we need to do, you know what, let's define all our logic here so that I can go over this, all right? Step 1. Cut left side of page linearly based on maximum page shrink. All right, let's go ahead and look at this. I'm gonna open, go back to GIMP here. All right, so I have this open. This was the first one. I can see a little bit of black there because I apparently didn't crop this perfectly, which I'm fine with. That doesn't matter. But I'm gonna go ahead and take the second page and I'm gonna put that in there. And then I wanna see the difference here. So I'm actually gonna set this maybe to lighten only. That might work. Let's try that. Lighten only, yeah. So we can see the difference. That's how many pages there were. And then I'm gonna pop the next one on there. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to do colors, color to alpha, and I'm going to make it black. All right. And then I think, why is that one longer? But that's weird. Yeah. The shrink goes in steps of 2 scans. Yes. That is a thing. I should note that because I might forget that. Maximum page shrink. Every page flip. There. I did skip pages here, but just for... So it would be that one, and then it would be that one, and then it would be that one, and then it would be this one. Lighten, or the other thing may not have worked like I thought it would. Let me try this. Filters, repeat color to alpha. It should make black transparent. Okay, this is what I was looking for. You know what, let's just get rid of that one. This. So how many pixels is this? I'm going to guess it's about 10 pixels. It is exactly 10 pixels. So every other page scan, I just need to remove 10 pixels from the left size. Why are you so confident it's linear? Because it doesn't matter. That's close enough. Matter of fact, we can make the final number bigger. So here's the thing. Here's the other thing, all right? Consider this. If we take this, duplicate it, centered, all right? If we take this, hide these, and then I'm going to center this top image here on the other seam, okay? The right edge of the printed text, why is it actually farther out? What? That's hilarious. That shouldn't even happen. Okay. Huh. But their page alignment sucks and they have giant margins. We can crop a ton of this in and it won't matter, essentially. And I'm pretty sure that's going to be true for every single book that's cut in the exact same way. Because this cut is somewhat imprecise. So we can easily cut in more without worrying about it. So that's why I'm confident it's linear, or at the very least, we can change the math. It doesn't matter too much. I know they were cut after binding. That's why it's like this. If it was cut before binding, the pages would seep, or actually they'd poke out a little bit if they were cut before binding. And no, we need 0 image programming techniques. We need nothing that can use software to look at the image. None of that is required. And hello, Majenko. Okay. Cut the left side linearly based on the maximum page shrink, every page flip. Or every page, you know what, we'll call page change. All right, not flip. Page change, all right? Step 2, all right? Step 2, cut pages in middle. Now that they are correctly sized. Step 3, I'm trying to decide, because here's the other thing. I want to I want to crop them to the minimum size. The downside is on the cover. It's going to make it a little worse, but I might do a special feature to ignore cropping the cover, and then it'll just be slightly wider. That's generally a thing with hardcover books. The cover's always going to be wider, so. Have base cut distance from first maximum page. Yeah, that's the shrink value here. That's this, which will be provided as a parameter. So step 3, we'll do, I'm just trying to think what's the best way to do this. We might actually want to do this. We might want this to be step 3 and this to be step 2. Step 2, homogenize page size to minimum page size to make PDF cleaner. Let me show this, though. There is one page that technically prints off the edge of the page. This. So here they were doing print samples. They were just showing things that the printer can do. But over on the right, it literally goes off the page. Like, it's just missing stuff there. That's how they printed it. You can't see that. I'm not sure where that is. What page number is that? That is page number 38, so... yeah, so if I look at this, if you look at that in person, you can see it's just missing. It's just gone. It's cut off the page. So that is an exception because I'm pretty sure they just had the printer print directly on their too big sheet of paper and then they photocopied it or however they did into the actual manual. So this, they didn't deem important enough to crop correctly, so we're not going to deem it important enough. So same thing as everything else. And as far as rotation is concerned, I'm not. That's just how it's going to work. As far as like skew adjustment, I don't care for right now. That's not important in this step. Okay, cut pages in middle now that they're correct size. Step 4. Reorder pages. Now that they are split. Okay, and that will be it. Carthouse, I wouldn't pressure people into that. Not everyone can or wants to, so it's totally fine, anyone who's not subbed. Okay, once the pages are reordered, then we're good to go. We can go back to regular processing, which will be the leveling correctness, like white level, black level, gamma, that kind of stuff. And then it can be piped into OCR and all that kind of thing. So, cut the left page linearly based on maximum page shrink, every page change. Homogenize page size to minimum page size. Let me do this. Crop to center. All right. So here's the fun thing. We can't just like... let me... Can we combine step 1 and 2? No, because the center moves. The only way we know where the center is by cutting the left side.
KARATAUS 82 gave a tier 1 gift sub to an enormous end of line.
I think we could combine these. The right side will have a static cut. It'll... no, it won't. The right side would have a dynamic crop. Let's say the maximum page size, and Carthouse, thank you for the gifted sub. let's say the maximum page width was 12. The minimum page width was 6. No, well, no, those numbers are too big.
Starbuck gave a tier 1 gift sub to STARSPIRIT 76. And
Whoa!
Starbuck gave a tier 1 gift sub to AMAN 4457. End of line. Starbuck gave a tier 1 gift sub to Surly Cat. End of line. Starbuck gave a tier 1 gift sub to Rinix. End of line. Starbuck gave a tier 1 gift sub to Izertum. End of line. Starbuck gave a tier 1 gift sub to PTTE. End of line. Starbuck gave a tier 1 gift sub to K-Tronics. End of line. Starbuck gave a tier 1 gift sub to XP. End of line. Starbuck gave a tier 1 gift sub to Adamstrom. End of line. Starbuck gave a tier 1 gift sub
It is
to
10 total API calls, Helen Croft. Dave Starbuck, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Holy moly, I really appreciate that. But yeah, it's 10 separate API calls. They're all logged like a couple of milliseconds apart. But I really, really appreciate that, Dave. Thank you. I think we can combine all 3 of these. So here's how this works. We determine our split size, or shrink size, okay? At the last scan page, all right? Let me make a new set of steps. All right? Step 1. Get last page size. All right. Actually, we'll just ignore that. It's just pseudocode. Okay. Get last page size. And then L size. Sure. Whatever. Let's do this. L size. And then min page is the L page size, or L size, minus the shrink factor. All right. And that is our minimum page width, okay? So we would know how much we need to crop by. If we're doing our linear shrink, it should always be the same on the left side. So we could get left page, all right, is shrink is offset, all right, by shrink. But this is the by shrink iteration, all right? And then the L size, all right? And then right page is offset shrink iteration plus L size, and then we cut out L size. That should work, or that would be right page. No, we're missing. Yeah, no, that would work. Yeah, that would work. Let me think about this. So the minimum page size, let's play through this here. So we have this, okay? So our minimum page size is this, okay? We're gonna make this red. All right, so our shrink thing will start out at 0. So we would have 0 shrink offset. So this is our minimum page size. That is not in the middle. So do we need shrink plus half of shrink? There's a math here that can do this. So this would be our crop point, approximately. So the image is still within the bounds. It's a little closer than I would have liked, but it's technically there. It's potentially at the point where margin of error may actually error, though, which I don't like. Unfortunately, this is shrunk slightly. Well, that's about the same as that. But that's just a coincidence, right? Or is it always going to be in the middle? I guess it might always be in the middle. Hold on, let's grab a middle page. Move this to the center. I think it will always be half. No. How is that fixed? Wait, is that fixed? New blue. Can't be. Okay, that's the middle. Then that's less, actually. What is this value? How is that derived? Hmm. Hmm. This is a little more complicated than I would have guessed. I'm curious to try and solve this. So this would be that. That one's about 50% of the way through. This one's 100% of the way through. So those would line up perfectly, of course. And then that's almost half, but not. Oh, but, well, it's this one, right? No, it's neither. It's that. Yeah, so that is very definitely nonlinear. Okay, let's think about this. The distance between here and the left, or no, the movement of the center will always be half of the shrink value, no matter what. Except for nonlinearity. Hmm. That's an interesting question, Marion. Assuming what you were asking is, was the page correctly centered when they stapled it? Booklet creep? I'm not familiar with that. That is interesting, and I will allow that word. That has saddle stitched. Yeah, because theoretically, the spacing between the left side and the right side should shrink as they get towards the center. So the distance between here and there, effectively, let's go with here. That's a little more obvious. This spacing should change. Let's go with this. And it doesn't. I had a feeling it wouldn't. This didn't seem like the kind of publication that would actually care. So they didn't do that. This is not in the center, it's off to the left. And then here it's slightly more centered. That's weird. It's almost like they tapped it over to one side and then stapled it and bound it. we go back to this. If I assume that's not even close. That's off to the right now. Although that's an even numbered image, so technically this is the other side. So if I grabbed 7 instead and popped it in there, which would be the other side of this same page. Oh, that one's blank. That's why. Okay, I'm going to grab 9. This is the next page. Hopefully this actually has text. Okay, perfect. Now, let me select that. Yeah, that's off to the left. So yeah, I think what they did, I think they took all of the sheets, they tapped them flat, stapled them, folded it over, and then cut it, which caused it to drift one way. So the center of the actual print is not the This is awful. The center of the print is not the center of the actual page. Huh. So, in theory, what this would mean is that we should center this around here. Oh, man. That would mean one side of this. Oh, man. Yeah, the creep is weird, Matrox. They didn't actually center it. They tapped it to one side, I'm pretty sure. So this page is effectively closer to the right than it should be, because I believe they tapped it on the left side. Well, Fireball Monkey, hello, since it's your first time chatting there. We're determining... I'm not sure what, actually. So, we're trying to figure out how to automatically fix a scanned book, and I wanted to center the pages, but I'm now realizing there is no true center. And that's complicating it. Well, even if we were doing it manually, where do we decide to split? Because the actual middle is not consistent. Let me grab page 11 here. I think this is going to have a bunch of indexes. And this will be even. Yeah. So now we can see effectively... Hold on. Yeah, again, it's drifted off to the left. So if that's the case, I bet the cuts are kind of terrible on the left side, or maybe not consistent. No, it's not really giving me anything there. Well, all right. The problem here, let's go back to this. And I want to look at that one again. So that's not that close. Yeah, that would be fine. The problem is, though, the center is not going to be the center. That's the issue. And that's why, I think that's why this is not lining up correctly over here. It's not because of non-linearity. It's because the center is moving in a way that doesn't actually make sense. Which I'm glad to understand. All right, here's what we'll do. We'll do this. We'll do this method. That will work. Ignore this. We can't... I don't think that this one is a good example to do that with. This will work. It's just a bunch of steps. Okay. So here's what we'll do. The left side will be cut. The black will be removed. We're going to assume it's linear for now. We're going to cut in steps that increase every other page by 10 pixels because there's 50 pages. It's about 260 pages or 260 pixels by the time it gets to the center. The 0 page doesn't have that. We don't need to, so it'll be 10 pixels-ish every time. So we're going to do that. We can adjust that number later here. It doesn't really matter. We will then gravity center crop to the minimum page width. So basically what will happen is we'll have this page here. Let's go back to this. So this is our centered page. So if I remove this, all right, I'm going to hide this one in the background here. So we will crop to the red section on this image. So we would lose a little bit on the right, which is fine, a little bit on the left. And the left will be a smaller crop. No, it shouldn't be a smaller crop. It should be identical. We'll lose that little bit there. And that's fine, because that will pretty much always be white, because this page was wider than it needed to be. So that should be fine. We'll lose that. And then every single scan sheet will be the same width, because we cut out the left side, and the amount that's lost here will change between each sheet, because we're basically going to make every single sheet, starting from the top, it'll be wider, and they'll get skinnier going to the bottom. So we're going to center crop. We're going to crop an amount from the outsides that is half of the amount that we cut off here, I believe. So then we'll have every page be the same width. Apparently, the center part is going to move side to side. Well, it's going to drift from the left inward as we scan, which is going to look really stupid in the actual final PDF, because it's going to be on the left side, and then you'll flip the page, it'll be on the right side, and it's going to be dumb. But that wasn't actually centered, and there's nothing we can do about that. That's really annoying. There is no way I can realistically cut or center to that without manually doing this. So we're gonna not even try. And that should work. Okay, let's math it up. Let's do the stuff. Okay. This. So we need to cut left side of the page. Now, how do I want to do image manipulation in this? So Python image magic. Okay, Python magics, Python binding. Yeah, wand. I thought that was it. Do I really need to do this with Python? Because well, if I want the automatic image stuff later, I might need to do that. I don't know, Pillow. I will have to look that up. Hold on. Let me grab... Don't I have GitHub open here? Yeah. Okay, so this is wand. This is what I'm familiar with for this stuff. Saying Python pillow, Python pillow. What does this do? Crop. Okay, what about just transforming? Like, spatial. Yeah, see, I don't care about the color at all in any way right now, in even the slightest. Does not matter. It's completely irrelevant. Resize, rotate. Okay, so that's pretty close. Transpose, that's... yeah. Okay, that's resizing, color transform. Okay, is there a crop, though? There's just the big list of all of the things. Documentation. Okay, so the handbook, it was in geometrical transforms, resize, IM, PIL, image. Okay, this.
Rudafira subbed as Prime and says, end of line.
Rudafera, thank you for the Prime sub and for 9 months there. Okay. Copy, crop. Okay. Returns rectangular region from the image. Okay. So there should be, yes, upper left, lower right. Okay. Open image. Crop. Okay. And then we get an image file. Okay. I can work with that. Okay. And then I assume that's pixels. That'll work. All right, we'll try pillow. Because I don't know what the syntax here is like, and it looks kind of weird. Are there examples? Yeah, we'll just go with pillow. All right, I'm guessing I just pip install pillow. Pip install pillow. Requirement already satisfied. Weird. Okay, sure. So from thing import stuff. Let me get that crop on here. Where was that? Here. Open. Yeah, that. Okay. So I'm gonna grab this. Pop that there. Go back to here, grab the that syntax is weird. So it's an array that you give it? I'm not familiar with the parentheses thing in Python. It's like a tuple that's a quadple. We'll just whatever. I do need to get it to tell me the maximum image size though, so we're gonna have to do that. Okay, cut left side, so this will be... Why is it... Oh, because that. Okay. Yeah, so we need to get the... Oh, man. The pain in the butt. Trying to figure out how I'm going to tell it what the folder... You know what? How about we just tell it a path to a folder? And it's all of the images in that folder. All of the files in that folder. Yeah, so I'm going to take this out. Also, I need to copy this. Hold on. How about I just compress it? That'll work. Okay. So we're going to have to do some other stuff. Let's just pretend that we get an array of files. So files, or file, image list. Image, no. Scan list equal blah. And then for scan in scan underscore list, I think is the syntax. But we need scan underscore last equals scan list dot len, and then scan. Actually, I think there's some way you can just do like last, right? Last something, I don't know, but we'll just pretend that that's it for right now. Actually, I guess we don't really need that. We can just do, well, scan last underscore width. Let's just say we do that. Width. And then pillow, I don't know, image, something like that. We need that, all right? So the width, and then we might as well grab the height from that as well. It doesn't really matter, they're all the same height. Height. So the lower... I assume the upper left is 0, 0. So upper left, upper, yeah. I think the example, yeah, it is. Okay, so this would be, right, lower. This would always be that every time. Right will be the max for the current image. So this will be scan dot width, however that works. Width. Left will be we'll call it shrink step, shrink underscore step equals 0. And then shrink change equals 0. And then at the end of this, if shrink change, not shrink change equals 1, else shrink change equals 0, but we'll do shrink step size equals shrink divided by scan count dot length. That's the number of scanned files. I think I might be right. It might be off by 1 or something, but we'll just run it and see. I might have to do -1 or something, but we'll figure that out later. Okay. Oh, list just -1. Okay, that works. Why is it not -0? Just, you know, because it starts at 0. Why can't it end at 0? That's what dot width. I know this is not any syntax right now. This is just to get it in my head. Height. Len. Oh, okay. Python and its syntaxes. Okay. So that. Shrink step size. Okay, then it'll be shrink step. I think plus equals is not allowed. Shrink step equals shrink step plus shrink step size. And then someone's probably going to comment some like weird syntax that it is instead of plus equals. Okay. Left will be shrink step. Upper will be 0. It is allowed? Oh, maybe I'm weird then. I don't know. Well, we'll find out. We'll do that. Oh, and Vicky, hello, since it's your first time chatting. Forgot that. It is. Okay. Was it not in Python 2? Pretty sure you've had it yell at me? Yeah. I swear that's not allowed. You know what? Hold on. This is a test of the Python syntax. This does not count as using a Python calculator. We are testing the syntax. I am using the interpreter because this is the quickest way to test the syntax. Python 3, all right, does not count. Test equals 1. Test plus equals 2. Print test. Okay, that is valid. Pencil prototyping is dead. That's basically what I'm doing with comments. But also, no, it is dead. I'm not going to sit here and make a flowchart. Okay, so that is valid. I wonder if it was Python 2. It must have been Python 2, Matrox. Because I know I've had it yell at me for that. Do I have Python 2 installed? Python 2. I do. Okay. Test. Oh, you know what? I might be thinking the same thing. Test equals 1. Test plus equals 2. Oh, print. Actually, I think it's this for this, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. So, yeah, it must be test plus plus. Yeah, it hates that. Okay. That was 2. Python 3. Test equals 1. Test plus plus. Yeah, it still hates that. Okay, so it must be increments. You will flowchart this, yeah. Okay, so shrink step, that's the left side. All right. Oh. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. I was gonna say we have to shrink to the center, but we can just do that kind of. It'll be the width. This is gross. Hold on. Last width. Okay. Homogenized minimum size. This is gonna be dumb. Let's do. Oh man. Scan diff equals scan dot width minus scan last width. And then, you know what? We'll just divide this by 2. That will let us center this. Ugh. So we'll do IM crop here. I kind of like this. So I think the way it would have worked with ImageMagick is that we probably would have been writing these out to files every step, which would have sucked. Keeping it in RAM like this is going to make it a lot nicer. So this will be left. Will be crop in this, and then this will be the width, scan dot width plus, no, minus scan dot width, whatever the syntax ends up being. I probably have to look that up. Scan dot width minus that. And then this will be scan dot height, whatever that ends up being. Height. Yeah, so this crops half of the difference between the last one and the current one from each side, which will make it the same width, and that will center it. Okay. Can you write it to a memory buffer? I don't want to deal with tempfs and stuff like that. That's just meh. Python sucks at files. So keeping it in a variable is better. Yeah. File manipulation is the only reason I'm using Pillow, by the way, just because Python sucks at it so much. It's already bad enough I'm going to have to use like OS calls to get a list of files in a folder for this, but so we'll just get to that, populating that later somehow. All right, cut pages in the middle. Yes, so this will be fun. We're going to do mcropped L, which will be 0 and 0, and then height, and then scan width divided by 2, and then R will be scan width divided by 2 left, like that. So those are our 2 separate pages. And then I suspect we'll just write it out as -L and -R for the files. So that should be the logic for how to do this with the math things.
MK Sursa subbed as Prime and says, end of line.
Kaiser, thank you for the Prime sub. You have scan width. Hold on. What do you mean? Twice now. Oh, well, it would be this because we're defining coordinates. That might be what you meant. I'm not sure. Oh, here you go, Sandy or Madness. Correctly sizes. Even better. 0, 0 on the end. So 0, 0, I don't know that we could actually do that, but it should actually be scan height and scan width for the coordinates. Here we go. Oh, fine. I'll fix it, Sanity Madness. Now that they are more corrector sizes. See, now it almost grammatically makes sense to have it be plural sizes. What's the goal of the image manipulation? So, I think I didn't mess this up too bad. Long story short, I scanned a book that was stapled. And it turns out that when that happens, you have something called page creep, where the inner pages are actually shorter than the outer pages. So when you go to crop this, If you scanned with a static page size, it slowly shrinks in on one size. So I'm trying to come up with a Python script for cutting these to a standard page size where the middle moves, because the middle here is not in the same spot every time because the page is shrinking overall. So I'm trying to come up with a way of cutting off the left side that's black and then splitting in the middle programmatically. So that's the goal here. But in general, I'm going to also make this my default scan page order management script thing. So I'm kind of trying to integrate this all into one Python script. So that's what I'm doing. But right now I'm just kind of working through the logic in my head of how we're going to do this. This is not valid syntax. This is pseudocode at the moment. But I think the syntax might be good enough. We do need to reorder the pages, but I feel like I should write them first and then just rename the files. So maybe we'll step 4 or step 5 write the things, then step 4 we'll write them. Step 4, write scan files. Write split scan files. So this will be that file dot write, and it will be, oh, I got a base name stuff in Python. Gross. I don't even want to know, man. I could do a key or an index, or we could just do a count. No, Kaiser. It should be entirely possible to do this without any image processing. None. You don't need it. The only thing you need to know is the amount of change between the middle page and the outer page, because this is just going to be relative. And every single person who's commented today has basically said, couldn't you do this with X AI nonsense? It's just not needed. That's all. Okay, right, you know what, sure, we'll just do this for right now. I'm probably gonna do a count or page or something. It's not AI, but whatever, computer vision. There you go. We don't need computer vision stuff. Although we may add it at the end. And I will argue any logic is AI. And I will go get an issue of Byte from the 80s that talks about AI and prove it. The should doesn't matter. All the should is going to do is just have it do this, but with it behind the scenes. How are you calculating page shrink? I look at the last page and I count the number of black pixels that are right here by taking the rectangle select and going like that. And I go, oh, it's 260. This is the one area that I may use image processing, computer vision, is to just see how many pixels from the left it takes to get something that is more than more than 50% gray. The entire logic of my program will function without that, and then I can just plug it in where it'll look at this and see, oh, this is now over 50% gray. That is the point to crop. So I can do my entire project without it and then add it at the last step. Additionally, the way that I'm doing this will result in every image file being the same width, which we won't guarantee with automatic edge cropping. And I want them all to be the same width for the PDF, because it's annoying when PDF changes widths. Yeah, using intensity thresholds, yes, but I can add that at the end. Okay, reordered pages now that they're split. That one sounds hard, so we won't do that. And we might even do that outside of the loop, actually. I don't think there's any reason to not. You can write that yourself. Apparently Pillow, the Python library I'm using, will just let me see what the pixel values are here. So I'll just start at the top left and then just scan across until I reach a white one. So I don't think it'll be a problem. Paul Guy, yeah, basically. Low pass. One of my favorite math things, IIR, infinite impulse response. Yeah. So, math version of low pass filter, essentially. Does it call it low pass filter here? No, it doesn't. That's funny. It essentially is. But yes, this will probably be how I do it. Okay, I think that's good for the pseudocode for now. We'll write these files, and then we'll get a new list of files here, and then we'll reorder them based on renaming. So. I'm not sure how you would do a high pass or a band. Well, I mean, I guess band pass is easy enough, so that you only add steps that are a certain amount. No, actually, no, I don't understand that. I don't think you can do that. Infinite impulse response is essentially a slow response average. I don't think there's a way of making it high pass only. At least I can't think of a way of doing it. All this stuff, people get doctorates in, yeah. I love infinite impulse response. Oh, it's so fun. I'm very curious about that. Let me look at that. Well, I'm going to say this. There is no correctly marked answer here.
Desiak gave a tier 1 gift sub to Marvin Olive. End of line.
Desiak, thank you for the gifted sub. Okay, so the math for a high pass filter is apparently dramatically more complicated than a low pass. Also, is this only AC stuff? Because I've done this with a functionally DC. Yeah, AC, only AC. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, that explains it. PC Magus, we don't even need it. Don't worry about it. It might be beneficial later, but it's not a requirement. What's the application for those filters? Let me explain. Let's say you have a potentiometer volume wheel on a device, okay? And let's say your potentiometer is a little scratchy or it's unstable, okay? And you have this as a device that's already out in the field in service. So the potentiometer might be changing the value slightly when you pull it from an ADC, okay? So every time your ADC gets a reading from this potentiometer, it's slightly different. But let's say you don't want it to constantly be jittering around with a volume level for something. So what you might do is have it, well, in that case, you just filter out a maximum step. I'm trying to figure out how I can describe this without literally describing the thing that I used it for. No, not really servo feedback. Okay. Let's go back to the volume wheel. Let's say you want a... All right, let's do this a different way. All right, let's do this way. You're writing a program, okay, to simulate a fluid-filled meter, okay? So like an air pressure gauge, maybe, okay? So the higher the pressure difference between 2 points, the faster it will move, okay? So the way that you would program it to have a somewhat like exponential speed difference, but it also needs to be able to decay. One way you could do that is with an infinite impulse response. Basically, you have your current value of where the needle is, and then you have your value of where it should be. So what you do is you tell it, I want you to step towards where you want to be, but you make the speed at which it steps to where you want it to be a percentage based on how far away it is. So once you get closer, it'll start to slow down. It won't move in as quickly. And the other benefit to doing it this way is that once they're essentially overlapped, you can actually keep feeding it the same position that you want it to be as an input, and it won't move because the position difference is 0, so it'll stay there. But then the next time the position you want it to be in changes, it'll start to follow it automatically. There'll be this lag, a delay behind it. So it's a way of slowing an action down and having it be responsive based on the amount of change. That's why you could consider it a low pass filter. The more difference there is, the bigger the swing will be. Similar to a PID, kind of. It's not really the same. Because the PID takes an input and then uses that to determine its output. But this does take the input as a function to it, but it's slightly different. This is signal processing, realistically. That's what this is for. You could use an IIR filter in a PID loop to help smooth it out, actually. It would make sense too. Like putting too much air in a balloon, exactly. Here's another example, okay? Let's say you are trying on a PID loop, okay? Let's say you're trying to control the temperature of a 3D printer bed or hot end. You want to lower the amount of influence that potential spikes, like random readings from your thermistor, might give you. You could have every reading of the thermistor be a small change to your average reading of it. So let me take a step back. Let me explain the problem this solves. Let's say you want a value that represents the last 10 samples of a reading, okay? What you could do is you could have an array that holds your last 10 samples and then constantly replace your oldest sample in that array. And then every time you get a new one, you average the total samples there, okay? The other option is to have the infinite impulse response, which needs one variable. And the way that it works is you set a reactivity value, the amount that it's capable of changing at once. It's kind of a ratio.
Tier 1 and says I vote for the most complicated option. End of line.
FQ Bush, thank you for the tier 1 sub and for 10 months. But you can think of infinite impulse response as an average. It only uses one variable, but instead of holding multiple variables, it can be, it just slowly changes. So use a controller to calculate infinite probability driving. It's a math thing. It's a nerdy math thing. One of the best use cases for it, and the reason I know about it, is microcontrollers, because you can do moving averages with a very constrained amount of memory. That's one of the really cool use cases for it. But yes, I know that's an extremely nerdy thing. Doing it for what would be less than 1,000 total values on a system that can render an image like this would be dumb. You don't need that. But you could. And I probably would, just because I'm used to the math for it. But yeah. So here's another fun use case, okay? Like, actually, let's think about this, okay? Oh, I love math. I love digital signal processing. It's really fun, okay? I want you to take this as one line, all right? We have one line that we're working on, okay? Let's do, you know what? Hold on, no. Let's new 1920 1080, okay? We have one line. The left side is black, the right side is white, okay? This is your change point, okay? How bored were you in uni? I don't have a university degree. I'm just insane. So you have a point here at which you have changed from black to white. Now, let's say you want to try and find this change point. Now, the way this could work, we're super tangent here. That's directly relevant in this example to what we're doing, but you know, this is edge detection here, okay? So let's say you want to figure out the point at which you transition from here to here. So here's how you can do this, okay? You can use two variables to do an edge detection like this, okay? But let's say these are somewhat messy, all right? So let's say we have filters blur or filters noise, okay? Hurl, okay? So let's say it's like this, all right? You cannot do this as an individual pixel value. You know the average on the left is mostly black, and you know the average on the right is mostly white, but each individual value sucks, so you cannot rely on them. So the way that you can do this is you have two moving averages using infinite impulse response. One is a higher reactivity value, and the other is a lower reactivity value. So what'll happen is you will have, yeah, rip stream bandwidth. Oh, okay, let's get rid of that, and let's go back to this. But assume that it's noisy garbage here, okay? I wager this was I need to do this, and how do I do this moment? Kind of, yes. But let's say you have, let's make two things here. So new, blue, sure, that'll work, okay? We have two moving average windows. I'm gonna make another one. All right. And this one, whoops, will be basically twice as long. All right, and we'll make this one red. And I'm gonna move this down here and then fill it in. Okay, so we have two moving averages, except this one needs to be here. All right. We can merge this down now. Okay, so we have our two moving averages, okay? So this average contains a larger sample history than this one does, okay? So what happens is as our signal is processed from left to right, we start to get new data into both of these averages. But because this one has a longer average history, it's going to be slower to respond than this one. By the time we get to this point, this one will have changed to 50% gray. This one will have changed to 25% gray. So we can use this as our change point metric. By the time we get over to here, we can guarantee that despite all of the noise in the signal, we have moved into a white area, because it will have changed significantly more on the shorter sample history than it will have on the longer one. So that's how you can do that. Technically, I have a patent in this. That's the level of insane I am about this. I don't think I should have a patent in it, but I technically do. Anyway. Instead of applying a threshold, you remove the noise, thus producing a better result. Yes, but you can do this with the noise. I think someone asked what we're trying to do. Let's see. It was a surprisingly good explanation. I do know it quite well. But anyway, that's one of the best use cases. Here's a reason why I shouldn't have the patent on it. That's probably how a literal US patent, yes. That's probably how every oscilloscope determines a trigger point. That's it. So prior art, that's why I shouldn't have one. Yeah, just detecting, well, I mean, that would be how edge detection would be done in the software too, most likely. But every DSO that's ever existed probably uses something like that. Anyway, back to, you know, haha, let's crop a picture. What are we doing here? We're gonna look up the syntax for pillow now. How do I do the things with the stuff? Okay. Let's see. TLDR, writing a program, process awful, printed manuals pulled apart. Yes. Okay. See, infinite, actually only useful if you have continuous data stream. Yes, I agree. On a fixed picture, it's not that useful. There are better approaches. Yes, and additionally, on a high power system like this, it's not really necessary. Can't patent mathematical concepts. So since you said a trigger point, those are probably actually way simpler than that, but they might have a switchable filter. Yeah, so the filter, yes. It all depends on how it works. Yeah, it gets extremely gray. Yeah, unfortunately. All right, what are we doing? I want image information. How do I get that? I want, like, the parameters, like the width and the size. So let's see. Image, okay. Are these are alphabetized, okay. Maybe over here? Image class, okay. Get box. Calculates the bounding box of non-zero. Non-zero regions. Wait, would that, like, if I had a black box, would that turns 4 coordinates in the format? Wouldn't it just always be 0 and 0 unless it is doing some kind of image things? Yeah, if you did actually find it, the glowworm, it's... yeah. Fun stuff, I'll say that. It was fun. See, analog scopes, they'll do it. See, that's actually an interesting point. A capacitor and a resistor is an infinite impulse response. You're just creating a software-defined version of that, basically. Are there 2? I didn't realize there were 2. Might be 2 for the same? I don't know. I'm only finding 1. Maybe it has 2 numbers. Wait, did my part not even get a fancy graphic? Lame. This didn't even cover the good stuff. Oh, pub number for... okay, yeah. Just the 1 as far as I'm aware. Cardos, hello, since it's your first time chatting. All right. Let's get back to this. Okay. Calculates the bounding box of the non-zero regions in the image. Only true if the image has an alpha channel, trim transparent pixels when all channels are 0. So that would cut black. I don't actually want that. I want it to be just the full thing. Get extrema? Get the minimum and maximum pixel for each band. For multi... this is too complicated. It may have been some of that DZAC, but it was not in reality for that. Quantize? No. How do I just get the actual literal size?
Bush gave the tier 1 gift sub to Beta Vita. End of line. Bush gave the tier 1 gift sub to a Plant 2 DS. End of line. Bush gave the tier 1 gift sub to Dead Patrick. End of line. Bush gave the tier 1 gift sub to Melichon. End of line.
It's just funny how that's always in a completely random order.
Sub to Adrian Optigrowth. End of line.
MQ Bush, thank you for the 5 gifted patents there. We're gonna patent a processor method for gifting subs. Draft figures the image size. So Extrema gets a minimum and maximum pixel values. Oh, no, that won't work. Okay, so if I had a red image, it's just pure red, that would return 255 for red and then 0 for red, blue, and green. Okay. Wait, but 2 for a band... Saying 1 for... so if it was RGB, then it'd be 6 values, I think. Size. Okay, let me look up size. Where... image size. Okay. There are also width and height. Okay. Oh, perfect. They're just width and height. Okay. So I was probably correct-ish. This is a function, right? So I'd put parentheses after it. Okay. So why did not GIMP? No. Cancel. Cancel. This. So as long as I make this a set of IM objects, then it should be fine. It's gonna be a little ugly, but yeah. Or maybe I scan file name and then I just make scan open here as that. That should be fine. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, so this syntax works. This syntax is valid. Long story short. And then this we'll have to open the file and the thing. So, yeah. Okay. Ooh. We gotta add water here. Talking too much. Okay. All right, let's do this. Let's get a list of files in the directory. Not a function, attribute. Oh. Okay, so I will have to change it slightly. All right. Python list files in dir. I'm always really disappointed that Google doesn't just substitute this for directory, but man. Import list dir. There's literally just a thing that's okay, sure. For oh my gosh, that's complicated. Why? OS paths is you know what? Sure, why not? All right. Expect Google to do something useful. Yeah. Okay, so I feel like this should probably happen somewhere around here, actually. So we'll do files equals this, and then we'll have a function get files def get files path. Okay. Pop these up here. All right. Removing directories and returning just files. Yeah, I get that. It's actually not. It's not a bad thing to have, because I kind of like putting different stages and parts of this into subdirectories. Like I might put the covers into a subdirectory. So I kind of don't mind skipping that and only returning files. I don't think I've seen that one. Okay, so Paul Guy, I really won't blame you. I have had a really hard time taking course information from universities that makes some of this stuff publicly available and then trying to learn from it without the context of the class. I feel like there is somewhat of an incentive for them to not hold your hand to get through this stuff because, you know, they'd like you to pay money to go to the school. So, yeah, generally, I have a really hard time. Doesn't matter what this is. Like, I've tried to look up FFT software development kind of things doing this for a long time. Haven't made much headway. So. I'll take a peek at that. That seems similar, more like an exploded version of the... Is it like a ternary line? Is that how it was? Here, somewhere? This? Well, we have if file is file. I think that's kind of lame Python ternary. Python ternary. Yeah, but I think it's a list mixed with ternary. Yeah. So, again, this is programming syntax testing, not me trying to do math. Actually, well, I am going to do math. I'm going to set a Boolean. So let's say we do value equals if 1, no, else 2, oh wait, hold on, we need 2 things, right? This, now what was it? If true, oh, it's if that, okay, but I think we can omit, no, okay, I thought it might be none or null or something. Yeah, I thought you could omit the else, but you cannot. So this is... But how? How is it not ternary? I was assuming it would return this if f is true, but there is no else. This is a ternary statement, isn't it? It's just repeated multiple times. Oh, it's lambda. Ugh. Okay, fine. Got it. Oh, is it... Is this some kind of special Python fancy, oh, you put it in a dictionary, so it's a list or whatever, so it's a special fancy thing? I don't know. Python, man. Just don't even Python ever. Just Python's terrible. All right. Files. Actually, hold on. Well, yeah, that'll work. Okay. I mean, I guess if it's one line, we kind of don't need it, but we'll just leave it. Gross Python stuff. Lame. Okay. Let's add a thing here. We need this to actually be a value. So now I have to remember, now I have to go look this up again. Because I don't remember how you do a value. I think it's store or something. Let's see, count, action, store, true. Yeah, but we want just regular store, right? Action, store, but then how do we access it? Store. Store const? Nah, let's look up regular store. Come on, give me one that's like a normal store, please. Are they really not? Is it all just going to be the weird ones? It is all weird ones. Okay, well, I'll do this. There was some 42 one, 42. It's probably the only... Wait, type int. Wait, what? No, that's... I mean, that'll help for the shrink one later, but it's just... action, store const, namespace... What is namespace nonsense? We'll just pretend that's not a thing. Okay, we'll go with this. Parser or add argument here. I'm just going to pretend that we don't need that. Store. And then path dash F. You know what, I'll call that folder. Not path. Folder. Okay. Action store. It is, should have arguments. Help. Okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar with JAL either. Okay. The directory where all the Scanzar. Okay. Save. I'm gonna try and run it, but I assume it's gonna be quite cranky with me because I don't think the syntax is even close to correct. No. Wait, I can't do exclamation point for not? Stupid Python. Fine. Not. And I like how that's the one it has the problem with. I managed to get everything up there correct. Index is out of range. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so this will be... you know what? Might as well just have this be scan list here. There. Reorder staple scan list. Okay. Okay, so... I have to parse them in order. Staple will go down there. There will be get files if let's add a default. Default equal none. If args folder, and then some real, this is where Python really wishes it was basic, is not none. Get files, args folder. All right, and then this will be files. This is always my favorite syntax in all of Python because it is just basic. Okay. All right, but I didn't. None. I'm gonna make this if files is not none. Files. And now it should just fail. Okay. Dash F. And I can give it this. Dash F. Oh, here. Boom. Okay. My path is not defined. Okay, well, let's... Path. Okay. Boom. Okay, it did things. No idea what the things were. Okay. Whew. Ugh, okay. For scan and scan, okay. Print. Working on plus string, because I don't trust anything. Scan. Save. Didn't... Wait, I didn't do a thing. Hold on. Print. Working on scan list. Wait, I don't think this worked. Or maybe we do this. Boom. No, that didn't work either. Okay. Oh, I'd have to return. Hold on. So this, but then make it return. I'm wondering if globals aren't working or something. Okay. No. Yeah, I did global files here, but it's not adding to it. And doing it as a return is not working either. It should be populating that, but then it's not. But this is not crying. Stupid Python and white space. Okay, wait, why didn't it print that at all? It's probably this. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Now we're good. String has no attribute value with. Okay, we're golden. We're good. We're good. So working on wait, yeah, that's good there. Okay. And then the width and things are not there. Okay. I kind of want to go back to the other syntax now though. But well, we'll try it. Files equal files. Eh? All right, fine. If is not none, then this. Okay, that'll work. There's our logic. Don't. Wait, why did that not work now? Save. Folder. Oh, yeah, return. Return. Oh, no. Oh, no. Args folder. Oh, string is an attribute width. Okay, we're back. Back on track. Okay. Now we need the size of the thing, which is here. All right, that returns a tuple. We don't care. We want this, but we also have to figure out how to open a thing. So let's open an image. So let's say copy or crop or whatever. So this, okay, with image. Okay. So we're gonna go with for file name in scan list with file name, but like not in quotes, because yeah, file name as scan. Okay. Scan dot file name, I think I saw was a thing that was valid. Yeah, right there. That's valid. Okay. So that'll tell me that's working. Okay, back to here. No, I'm just closing GIMP. No one asked me what we're doing again. So I'm closing it. I don't want to deal with it. Okay. And then maybe that'll work. Let's find out. Okay. Working on expected an indent. All right, fair enough. You have your weird syntax. We can do it that way. Tab. String has no object width or attribute width. Wait, what? 95? Okay, 22. Oh, yeah, fair enough. Image open this. That's gross. I know. Sorry. It's truly horrible. It genuinely is. My apologies. There we go. No such file or directory. Oh, yeah, that's fair. Enjoying watching how this code has progressed and become more and more complicated. It should have been nice. Can I make parser of global? Globals don't seem to be working though. Although shrink worked. Why? Why did shrink work? Is it some dumb Python thing where if I set it in a function, then the scope is limited to that function, and then once you get out of that, it's back to whatever the real global was? Python's annoying. Should have just written this in C++. I like how it's been nearly 3 hours and we haven't done this. It is like that, Paul Guy. Ugh. How can I get the folder name? We learned movie averages for DSPs. Yeah, that was something everyone needed to know. How do I get the folder name out? And declare it global inside the function and use global var. All right. What if I maybe just add the folder as a parameter? I really don't like that. Oh, wait. Here we go. Is file join. Wait, it's supposed to add the path. Path. What? Join path. Shouldn't that be... args is created right here, or somewhere there. It's not a global. Why isn't this the whole point of this to join the path string, like string plus? So why is that not working? Oh, because that's a test. Or f in. Is there any way in this weird, stupid thing I could make this return basically this? Because this is the test now. That's why it's not doing it. Yeah, the join, I get that. That's for the conditional. Set first F to join. Okay. And then I probably don't want... Or is that fine? Let's find out. Whee! Okay. Int is not callable. Perfect! I think that worked. Okay, let's get rid of a bunch of these. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah. Okay, is that all of them? Maybe. Let's find out. Okay. IM is not defined. Fair. Scan. Boom. Okay. And it kind of worked. All right. Now, oh, I made it very angry. What just happened? Plasma just crashed for some reason. That's a good reason to not stream on the computer you work on. Okay, this, I assume there's a write thing. Like, there was a read, there's probably a write. Copy? I don't think that's what I want. Image. Okay, open new? What is new? Creates new image. Oh, that's probably like literally a blank canvas. I don't want that. How do I save? Plasma moment from a fellow Plasma user. It really doesn't do that often. Much more often, it just fails to start entirely. I wouldn't call that very often, but it's often enough that I have specific strategies for specific ways that it hasn't started. It is, okay, save file name. All right, thank you. Should I just save? No, register save. Save, there we go. Format. Ooh, wait, format. Hold on, format? What's that? Optional format override if omitted. From the file name extension. Well, we're gonna be really, really stupid. File name plus underscore L dot JPEG and this is probably gonna take a little while to run, but for giggles, let's see what happens. Also, you know what I think I'm gonna do? Hold on, I'm gonna grab. Actually, this doesn't work without the full data set, doesn't it? Because the minimum, we have to run it on the whole thing. Great. All right, here we go. Whee! And error. Right. Save. Although, we could... No, it has to be the full data set. All right, let's let it roll. And there we go. Why are they weird ones? Did it not put them into alphabetical order? That's going to be a problem. Okay, hold on. Delete, cancel. Hold on. Type. Get all the JPEGs. Also, did this do even close to what I was thinking? No, not. What on earth is even going on? Oh, you're on Plasma 6. Ooh, hasn't been that unstable. I'm just Plasma 5, but yeah. Okay, let's get rid of all the JPEGs. Okay. Hold on. Scan list equal sort scan list. That'll help. But so there's something funky going on with the widths. So we'll let this run for a little bit, and then we will fix it. Sort? Why is sort not a thing? Hold on, how do you sort an array? Or a, bet it's